Now this video is designed for people who've had problems accessing the sample tests for the functional skills. Now it clearly states there that you need a laptop which is Windows 10, so it won't work on an Apple, Mac or anything like that. But we have had lots of reports that people with a Windows 10 computer, they've got great difficulty in downloading these sample tests. Now in theory it should work by simply clicking on the test, but it probably won't work like that. You probably need to download the sample test player first of all. Now that's where the problems seem to have started though. We've had several people coming back saying they've downloaded the sample test player and they still can't access any of these tests. So we thought we'd put this video together just to show you exactly how the on-screen test works, okay? And at some point you might want to stop this video so you can have a look at the questions. These are sample questions, so you might want to have a go at them yourself if you wanted to. But we're going to have a look first of all at the level 2 reading sample test. So we're going to click on it and then we're going to save and then we're going to open. Okay, now what we've got here is the mark scheme. So if we click on that, and it's the mark scheme for this particular test, what you'll find is the details here about how marks are awarded or maybe lost. So that may be quite interesting to look through there just to get an idea, or get a feel of what the examiners are looking for though. So it'll tell you about the different words they're looking for and whatever, and how many marks it's going to be awarded. Okay, so interesting, and it could just give you the edge on the day if you've got some knowledge about how these tests are going to be marked. So you scroll down there, fairly comprehensive, covers all the questions there, and you can see exactly what the examiners are looking for. Okay, so, and you can again stop this video and have a look in more detail. But let's now have a look at the test. Now this is a sample test, but the structure and format is identical to the one that you're going to get on your test day. Your test is taken here at Sparkhill, Birmingham. It's on screen. Once you're logged on, that's the page that you're going to see. And I would recommend that you do read all the instructions there as well. And on the day, make sure that you're sitting at the right computer. It's Functional Skills English Reading Level 2. Okay, and it gives you the breakdown there. Look, if you have a look at the questions there. Okay, now on the reading one you can use a dictionary and that will be provided, so don't worry about that. You don't need to bring a dictionary along. We've got them here and we most certainly will lend you a dictionary. Once you're okay with that, click on Start Test and then you're into the test proper. And what you've got there on the left hand side is the text A. It's a leaflet, and on the right hand side you've got your questions. Type your answers in the boxes below. Your neighbour wants to know about learning from friends and family. So using text A, identify 2 things your neighbour could learn from friends and family. So you get a mark for each there. Fairly straightforward and fairly intuitive. Now once you've completed that, what you will do then is drop the cursor down to the taskbar and you will click Next, and that's the middle of the task. Now I'm going to point out what's happening on the right hand side. Whatever you do, don't click on Finish. You don't need to click that button at all. If you do, you run the risk that your test will be immediately uploaded to the examination board's computer and then we can't get it back. So it could be an incomplete test that has been submitted and you're not likely to get sufficient marks to pass it. So just leave that one, just ignore it. We've now moved on to question 2. Again, you've got the same material before, different question this time though, and what you would do here is you would just click in one of those boxes. So if you thought, for example, that the answer was admiring, you'd click on it and you get the tick. Okay, if you want to change your mind, you just click on something else and it removes the previous tick. Fairly straightforward again. On the day you can use the mouse or you can use the pad of the laptop. It's entirely up to you. Okay, click again, Next, takes you to the next question, and there it is. You can keep a track of your questions on the bottom taskbar. That's 3 out of 15 at the moment though, and you can go back if you wanted to on the previous one, or you could go forward to the next one. Do bear in mind that you've got a timer and the timer's ticking away. Okay, so again, it's a case of reading through and then choosing the right answer, and once you've done that, it's the next button that you're going to click. Just a point here as well, if you are watching this video and you want to work through it, then I would recommend that you do so on a computer. Very difficult on a phone because you probably find the script is far too small. Okay, but just give you an idea there about how you might tick things. Click on next, takes you to the next question. And again, you've got the same text there, different questions again, same sort of thing as before though. Got 2 marks there. It shows you the marks on the bottom right hand corner in the bracket. So you've got some idea about what that's worth. And we're going slowly down here, just so if you wanted to, you could slow this down at home and pause this video, and if you wanted to, you could have a go at a few of the questions. Let's click on number 5 next, different text. Okay. So this is text B. There it is, text B. It's on the left hand side. Again, we'll scroll down, so you may want to pause or read along with us and have a look there. So you've got to take on board that information there and then take a look at what's happening on the right hand side. Type your answers in the boxes below. What does each of these questions, quotations from text B, suggest about free learn? And you've got 1 mark for whatever you put in the first box and 1 mark underneath it. Okay, and so you're a third of the way through the test at this point. Okay, and click on the next one. And again, there's your text B again. So you may have to read through that again, and then you'd look at the questions on the right hand side and tick. It just says which one of these statements is a fact, so you've got to put at least 1 and only 1 tick in one of those boxes there. A few of the questions may well ask you for 2, but this is just 1. Okay, so you'd only be able to click 1. So click on again. Here's number 7. Free learn, same text again, it's text B again, same material, different 2 questions there, each question worth 1 mark. So you have a look down again, see if you can find the answers, and when you do, you enter them into the boxes and then you click next again. Okay, same text, it's text B again. This time we've got 1 mark for challenge 1, 1 mark for challenge 2, and then we've got 1 mark for the next one, which is B, and another, well, that's number 1, and another mark for 2, which is also B. Okay, so we've got 4 marks in total there. Click again, and we've got text C now, so this is totally different than the other ones, text C. So you must take your time and read through. Okay, don't race, read it through, because the questions are going to be based upon that text. And you've got 2 questions on the right hand side. Text C gives 2 quotations that suggest the writer enjoys sport. You've got to find out what they are and put each quotation into those boxes. Okay, and 1 mark each again. 10, so we're now 2/3 of the way through this particular test. Same text again, it's text C, and this time we've got 4 marks to earn. You've got to identify 2 language features the writer uses to explain their experience of learning. Give an example to support each answer. Language feature, and we've got their example, and language feature example. 1 mark each of that, so you've got 4 marks there. So once we've had a look at that, and again we're going and scrolling through the text, so if you wanted to, you could take time out and have a look at it and maybe have a practice. Text C again, we've got another choice of 1 out of 4. Which one of these quotations from text C shows the writer has a positive view of learning? So we'd have to go carefully through the text and find out where the evidence is, and then see if we can link that to one of those 4 options on the right hand side. That's just 1 mark. You'll notice on the bottom task bar that our timer is gently ticking away. We're not really doing these at all, we're just showing how it works. When you do the test for real though, do keep an eye on how much time you've got left. Okay, so now we're up to 12. Love learning, love life. and it's used text A and text C to answer this question. So it draws on what we've already done. And again, on the right hand side, you've got two questions, A and B, worth 1 mark each. So you may have to go through again, read it through carefully. And there's the other text. Once you know what the answers are, you drop them into the box. And then I'm sure you know by now, you press next, takes the next question. Use text A and text C to answer the questions again. So you've got 6 marks this time. Type your answer in the box below. Compare similarities from text A and text C about the benefits of learning. In your answer, you should give 2 similarities from these texts about the benefits of learning and give 1 quotation from text A and 1 quotation from text C to support your the similarities. So fairly straightforward, nothing to catch you out, plain English, absolutely clear what it is they're looking for. There is 6 marks on that one, and we've only got 2 more questions to go before we finish the section. And don't forget though that the mark scheme that we mentioned earlier actually relates to this particular test. So it relates to this particular test, so you can go back, have a look at the mark scheme, and you can have a look at exactly how the marks are awarded and lost, by the way, and what the examiners are looking for. So question 14, again you're to choose one of the statements about the language used in text A and text B. So you may have to check through again. So it'll be text A and text B to have a look at. And once you think you know the statement, then you're going to tick whichever box would relate to that on the right hand side. Okay, and then we've got our very last question of this section anyway. 15. Okay, use A, B and C texts here, so you've got all 3 texts. 3 marks here, text A, text B, text C. Type your answers in the boxes below. Your relative wants to know whether online learning is convenient for people with busy lives. Identify one piece of evidence from each of the 3 texts which shows that online learning is convenient for people with busy lives. Straightforward, absolutely clear English there. Nothing misleading, no ambiguity, absolutely clear. And so on the day, you would look through the text and then you would find out which piece of evidence from the text would support that, and then you drop it into the box. And there we have it. And now if you click on next, have a look at that. Now if there is an orange background, it means that you've attempted the question. So hopefully all those would be orange. Now if it doesn't have an orange background, if it has a blue background, that means something may not be right, because according to the computer you haven't attempted the question. Okay, and at this stage it is possible to go back and you just click on whatever it is you want to do and you go back. So maybe you left something, or maybe you forgot to enter it into the box or whatever. You can go back and sort it out at that stage. Okay. So once they're all oranged and everything's fine, we won't bother doing that now, but when it's all orange, it means that you've attempted all the questions. Once you've done that, complete test. Now once you've clicked on that, it means you can't go back. Okay, the test is finished and it gets uploaded to the examination board's computer and we can't retrieve it. But if we're happy, we'll click. One last reminder, are you happy? We are indeed. Click, and that's the end of that section.